Slumlord neighbor's time to pay what he owes. The house directly next door to me is a rental property which I had some issues with earlier this year. The issues came from two massive spruce trees that were growing on the property line and were causing property damage to my property. In my area it is a law that in the case of trees growing on the property line, the costs of removal must be split evenly between neighbors, and because the trees and roots were causing property damage there was a significant case to be made for their removal. Removing the trees was not cheap, and involved bringing in cranes and multiple days of work due to their size and proximity to structures. I approached the neighboring property owner about splitting the removal costs and was basically told I have no money. His portion would have been about $4,000. At that point we decided it would be more expensive to hire an arbor attorney and drag this through the courts and then try to collect that money than it is to just pay for the entire job ourselves. Now here is where the revenge comes in. The tenant that lives there passed away and the landlord decided to sell the house. During the inspection process they discovered some trees on their property that were hazardous and needed to be removed before the sale could go through. It was uninsurable unless the hazard was mitigated. In order to get to these trees equipment would have to go through my property. The lots are small and the way this lot is situated, he would either have to demolish his other neighbor's garage or use my property. The owner approached me asking for permission and my response was that I would only grant permission to use my property for $4,000, the exact cost of what he owed me. He tried claiming that it would jeopardize the sale of his property and I simply replied I don't care, this is the cost to use my property, take it or leave it. The following week he came with a check for $4,000 and I granted written permission to use my property.